Watching Alabama's WVUA News at 6 with your award-winning news team, Lynn Brooks, Philip Coleman, weather with Richard Scott, and sports with Gary Harris.
Tonight on WVUA News at 6.
We'll show you how Alberta City residents have the opportunity to speak out about storm recovery. Plus,
the draining of Forest Lake is underway. I'm Jennifer Edwards, and I'll have what residents in the area are saying about it. Coming up on WVUA News.
And the latest on the wildfires that roared across Tuscaloosa County.
But first, we start in Tuscaloosa, where the cleanup of Forest Lake is now underway. And if you've driven by the lake recently, you may have noticed the water level has dropped. According to storm drainage engineer Chad Christian with the city of Tuscaloosa, the lake is now being siphoned for debris removal.
WVUA's Jennifer Edwards has what the residents in the Forest Lake neighborhood are saying about this latest step in the recovery.
It's like an emerald. I mean, it's just a beautiful place.
I don't know who I want to see it or not, but I just want to find out what's in there.
Forest Lake residents are eager to see the cleanup of Forest Lake begin. According to Chad Christian with the city of Tuscaloosa, the Forest Lake Owners Association started siphoning the lake last Thursday to determine the amount of debris in the lake. Mildred Kirk has lived in Forest Lake for more than 60 years, and she's ready to see things get back to normal.
I'd like to see it come back like it was, clean looking.
Kirk says she's glad to finally see the lake being drained, but other residents are saying it's just too little, too late.
Well, it's been an awful long time. It just don't seem like it's been a city priority or anything. I mean, it's a private lake and everything, but it's the community's dumped in there.
Boyce Thornton is a lifelong resident of Forest Lake and has a lot of fond memories of it.
It was such a great place growing up here, and we'd come here and fish and couldn't swim, but yeah, we'd fish and all down here growing up.
Now Thornton says he's looking forward to the future.
It'll be great to have the lake back pretty again. I hope they get in here and get it cleaned up pretty soon.
Christian told WVUA the city engineer is finalizing the plans for debris removal this week. Reporting in Tuscaloosa, Jennifer Edwards, WVUA News.
And Christian also says those plans must be approved by the NRCS. The city is hoping that the work can begin by mid-April. And continuing our coverage of storm recovery, tomorrow night, Alberta City residents will have another opportunity to voice their opinion on the rebuilding of their community. The meeting will take place at 6 p.m. at Pilgrim Rest Baptist Church there in Alberta City.
WVUA is continuing to cover the wildfire in Tuscaloosa County. It's been burning since Monday, and it's burned 100 acres so far. Fire officials tell WVUA there are still some hot spots, and they're monitoring the situation to make sure it does not flare up again. It started off Camp Cherry Austin Road and Highway 216 just south of Brookwood. Last night, the fire was 100% contained. Meanwhile, the Alabama Forestry Commission tells WVUA they are hopeful it will not begin burning again. Forestry officials saying this is not the first time this tragedy has struck this particular area.
These poor people, a year ago their homes were destroyed, and so many of them have either rebuilt new homes or brought in new mobile homes, and then here they have fires that some of them it burned right up to their backyard. So that's got to be a very frightening thing, sickening feeling to lose your home one year and then have it threatened seriously the next year.
Forestry officials say the time between 1 and 3 this afternoon was of most concern to them because it is the driest part of the day. Investigators are not sure what caused the fire.
Fallout continues across Alabama due to the governor's 10% budget cuts. But Tuscaloosa County may not be hit as hard as other areas. As we have reported, Governor Robert Bentley said he ordered the proration because the state general fund budget was impacted by several factors, including the cost of tornado recovery. This has many state leaders trying to figure out where to make cuts, from layoffs to reduced services. Meanwhile, Tuscaloosa County probate judge Hardy McCullum told us He did not anticipate the proration causing a major problem with services in Tuscaloosa County.
We don't need to be in the business of trying to use our dollars to fund state programs whenever we've got a pretty full agenda and a pretty full plate as it relates to our own needs within the county.
And the governor's office says these budget cuts will not affect the state education budget.
New at 6, WVUA is covering Etowah County, where a stepmother and a grandmother are accused of running a child to death. As we've reported, authorities say 9-year-old Savannah Harding collapsed and died after she was forced to run for 3 hours as punishment for lying. Today, her grandmother and stepmother pleaded not guilty to these charges. Prosecutors are seeking the death penalty against the grandmother, and if convicted, the stepmother faces life in prison.
Canoeing takes on a new meaning at the capstone. A team of engineering students has created a concrete canoe. It's called April's Fury, and they're entering the canoe in the National Concrete Canoe Competition later this week in Florida. Now, the team started working on April's Fury last August. Organizers say they got the inspiration for April's Fury from the tornado, but the focus of their creation is not on the destruction, but on the rebuilding of the city.
It touched me a lot to see how quickly everyone came back after to start the rebuilding. They didn't just sit around and wait for someone else. And so this year we wanted to actually be a symbol of the rebuilding and the courage and the strength that the people in Tuscaloosa and all over the country showed afterwards.
And the team heads out to Florida on March the 23rd.
Academy Award-winning actress and Alabama native Octavia Spencer was honored in her home state.
Spencer is a native of Montgomery, and that's where the governor and lawmakers honored her today. Spencer received a hero's welcome when she arrived in her pink limousine. She has won many awards this year for her performance as Minnie in the movie The Help. More than 400 people showed up to welcome her home. And Spencer told the crowd that she would do whatever she could to see that more movies are made in Alabama. Spencer was also given the key to the city. Now, the movie, The Help, is based on the novel with the same title. The author, Catherine Stockett, is a graduate of the University of Alabama. Now, still to come here on WVUA News at 6, one elderly couple shares their story of survival after a tornado.
And coming up in Home Team Weather, watching a band of showers and storms across East Mississippi, even a couple of tornado warnings back off towards the west. Will we deal with any severe weather issues, and how much rain can you expect? Your forecast is coming up.
And find out why Barrett Jones is the center of attention this spring for the Crimson Tide football team. Gary Harris will have the story in Alabama's Home Team Sports.